Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very, very special edition of the Print on Demand Playbook podcast. I'm your host today, Rusty Pepper, and yes, you heard that right. It's just going to be me today because normally Maddy and I are here together interviewing all the incredible guests that are leading the industry in the future of print on demand. But in this episode, it's going to hit a little different because today Maddy's the one sitting in the hot seat. And that's because her company, Gooten, was recently acquired by none other than Taylor Corporation, which is also the same company I work for. And with so much buzz, excitement, and even rumors starting to pop up, we wanted to come straight to you, our community, to clear the air and share the real story about how this deal came about, why it matters, and what it means for the future of Gooten, Taylor, and of course, the broader print-on-demand industry. So joining me today are the two people who have been at the center of it all. We've got Maddy Alcala, who is president of Gooten and my partner in crime, usually here on the podcast, and Nate Mullikin, the president of Taylor's business identity division, and of course, in my opinion, the architect who really helped push this deal across the finish line. So I'm also not going to lie and say it's very refreshing to be sitting on a call with Nate where I'm not the one sitting in the hot seat. So welcome to the hot seat, Nate and Maddy. Are y'all ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
Do it.
All right. Well, Maddy, I'm going to start things off with you. Can you give us a little background on Gooten and where the business has been over the past few years and what ultimately led to where we are today with Taylor acquiring it?
Thank you, Rusty, and thank you for having me on our show. It's nice to be a colleague in a different sense now. So we've been working together for a long time, and now we get to do even more fun stuff together, which is awesome. So yes, I'll start with just some storytelling here around where Gooten had been, especially for the past year. So for the audience members who don't know much about Gooten's history, we were an independent company for about 11 years, backed by venture capital investors. And for anyone who knows the VC market, typically the hold period for those types of investments is in the 5 to 8 year range. So we were getting to the point that our investors were looking for a return on capital, looking for something to do with the business. And so there was a board discussion last fall where a decision was made to explore acquisition opportunities. At the time and throughout that process, Taylor really wasn't involved. We were looking at other options. We had a great relationship with Taylor from the supply side, and then a new relationship that we started earlier this year with technology. But Taylor's acquisition history, which I know Nate's going to hit more on, really wasn't focused on technology companies like us. So it didn't cross our radar. So as that acquisition process was playing out, we got to the finish line with a couple parties, one in particular that we'd intended to move forward with, but unfortunately that deal fell apart really at the last minute. When that happened, there's really no other way to say it other than things started to get pretty chaotic. So we had some executive departures and board departures pretty suddenly as a result. And then our senior lender, our bank, stepped in, which I know there are many people on this call who've worked with banking partners in this industry, and started to get more involved in the business as a result. So it's definitely been a period of up and downs, certainly some ups. And last year was our best year as a business. We had some great momentum starting this year, and then some downs over the summer as we navigated the process. But I put in a call over the summer to Nate, and we had a conversation about potentially joining forces with Taylor and really formalizing the partnership we already had in place. So that's what led us to today. So, like I said, the most fun I never want to have again, and super excited to be part of the Taylor team at this point and look at the future for where we go next.
I can imagine, and being able to just kind of talk with you, behind the scenes and all this stuff, the learning curve and the pressure, the stress was definitely monumental, and definitely one reason why we didn't have as many episodes this summer.
Yes, I was looking for ways to clone myself, Rusty. I learned a lot about the business, good, bad, and ugly. I'm usually someone that gravitates toward the sales side of the market. I really like to work with customers. So I didn't get as much time this summer to do that as I usually had, but I learned a lot. It was kind of a crash course MBA, if you will. I guess for free, it was getting paid. So good deal on my end, but really honored, frankly, to work with the team, work with the market throughout the process. And like I said, most fun I never want to have again. I want to go back to my customer role. That one's great.
Smart decision. Now, Nate, let's bring it back over to you. From your perspective, what were your first thoughts when the Gooten opportunity landed on your desk? And then what was it about the business that made you say, yeah, this is something we really should pursue?
Yeah. Thanks, Rusty. Well, maybe even go back just a little bit on how Taylor has acquired over the years and what our strategy is from an investment perspective today, and have that be a bit of a thread into how this all kind of transpired. Taylor is celebrating their 50th anniversary this year, which is pretty special. We, over the course of the past 50 years, have done just about 200 acquisitions, give or take a couple. The overwhelming majority of those, as the two of you know, have been competitors, others in the marketplace. The overwhelming majority of them have been manufacturers that have really supported the growth from a fulfillment and manufacturing standpoint. But fast forward to today, we're very focused on not only continuing to be an acquirer in an industry where you're either an acquirer or an acquiree, but we're also looking at how we can enhance our overall portfolio in a variety of ways. New products, technologies, front end or back end, that really take care of our customers and our market in a very different way. So fast forward to maybe just a couple of years ago, as Maddy alluded to, we became a fulfillment partner of Gooten's in what is our fastest growing segment of Taylor Corporation, our Taylor on Demand business. Through that process, obviously, you get a chance to meet the team, understand who you're working for, grow in a really meaningful way, broaden the network, do all the things that both of you two have been doing such a brilliant job on over the past few years. Fast forward to earlier this year, as Maddy alluded to as well, we thought Gooten was doing something else pretty cool from a technology standpoint with their order mesh platform. I think it could be a significant boon for growth for Taylor and Taylor on Demand, but we also saw it as a major opportunity to work with customers and prospects in a much better way. As a 50-year organization, our onboarding process was a little bit antiquated. Order mesh solved a lot of problems for us, and then obviously solved a lot of problems for our customers as well. So as you piece that all together, really great people that we had a chance to meet over the course of the past couple of years. Really great technology, a good business as you look. Even though Maddy alluded to some troubles here recently, we all know businesses go through ups and downs. The bones of this business are terrific. And the team that we get a chance to work through and have worked through diligently with over the course of the summer months is top notch. So that is really what solidified this deal for us, Rusty, is the people, the technology, and the opportunity here in this print on demand space for us.
There's no doubt it is one of those acquisitions where I get really excited about, because it really allows us to really go fast. And that's the power of what technology enables. And that's the heart of print on demand, as we always like to talk about. So let's transition a little bit. And now that we've got more about the background on the acquisition, let's talk about what it really means for both companies moving forward, especially since the acquisition, we just closed it and it's coming at the beginning of Q4, which, as we all know, is the busiest time for our industry. Plus, I believe 2026 is shaping up to be a phenomenal year. So love to hear both of y'all's thoughts on how you see this partnership setting the stage for what's ahead. I'll let Maddy, you want to go first?
I'm happy to go first. So I think the first thing is starting with the customer. We're in the busiest time of the year. Everything we do starts with the customer and our partner, their customer. And I want to make sure that as we go into Q4, we have an awesome holiday season. So that's great products, great quality, great price, on time. So right now, the focus between the Gooten and the Taylor teams is really making sure that we have an excellent end to 2025. And if there's been any road bumps, in the past, that we smooth those over as quickly as possible and get orders out on time. So that's the first priority, is execute and do it in a really great way with a great customer experience. I think as we look forward, I view this overall partnership as best of both worlds and really emblematic of what the print on demand industry is like as a whole. Gooten has a different culture than Taylor. Taylor is a larger organization, a lot of financial stability and discipline that I'm personally very excited about bringing to the Gooten team. We need it in a good way. But I also am excited to bring some of the Gooten culture to Taylor. We are a move fast and break things type of team. We love to innovate. We love to experiment. We are software first in terms of how we think about solving problems. So I've already had some great conversations with my partners on the Taylor side to think about how we can deliver better experiences for both of our customers and do it in a more efficient and innovative way. So it's going to be a lot to come in 2026, but right now it's take a breath and make sure that our business partners have a really excellent end of the year.
One good sign in new relationships is alignment, right? And the fact that Maddy just stole all my material for this response, I think, is a good thing because there's a significant alignment. But I'll say, I'll add to it, and I'll say some things in my own ways here too. I do think discipline is important, right? And Taylor, being in this industry for as long as we have, I do think some discipline here will help the longevity of what we're trying to accomplish here in this marketplace. We'll see whether or not Maddy really likes that discipline that she just alluded to a little bit earlier. Stability is an incredibly important element to this for all of us in this print-on-demand space. We do bring a large organization that is financially stable, and we think that's really important not only for our partners, our suppliers, the customers, but also the employees that are part of this business as well. The most important, though, element to this is growth. We absolutely believe this is a significant opportunity for Taylor to grow, for our customers to grow, for our suppliers to grow, and for those that know our mission statement, for our employees to gain opportunity and security and grow within their realm of responsibility too. It's a match made in heaven that we're really excited about.
I agree with what both of y'all said. Nate, welcome to my world where Maddy takes all the good stuff and makes me leaves me with all the crumbs and having to try to figure out how to sound smart.
Okay. So anticipate this continuing. I got it.
Every single day.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Rusty, we're talking to our boss here. We got to be careful.
I'm propping you up.
Thank you.
One thing I would also like to add to, I think for our partners, I think that one thing that's really important is, how do we help our partners get better? That's the one thing about POD is we're in the job of really empowering our partners to grow and scale their business. And one thing I'm really excited about this acquisition itself is the fact that with the technology and the ability to get to market faster and make changes more agile and be able to adjust to what the market's going, we're going to be able to help our partners scale and grow their business at a much faster rate. And because we all know this industry is changing all the time. And we don't even know what it looks like in 6 months or a year from now. But we just know we need to be on the forefront of that and helping our partners step in step lead the industry forward. So I do think that is a wonderful place for us to wrap this up and land the plane. I also know we're planning on having additional follow-up episodes where we'll be giving some updates on this acquisition, how it's all going, what the market outlook looks like, and all that good stuff. So expect that probably towards the end of Q4. We'll have another episode that comes out, a little special additional one, just some updates. And we'll probably do that every other month for, maybe the next 6 months or so. But Maddy and Nate, I really do. I appreciate you both taking time to pull the curtain back a little bit on a little bit behind the scenes look at this acquisition. And to our awesome listeners and community, thank you so much for tuning into this very special edition of the Print on Demand Playbook podcast. I'm Rusty Pepper alongside Maddy Alcala and Nate Mullikin saying thanks for listening, and we can't wait to see you next time.
Thanks, Rusty. See you soon.
Bye all.
See you.